What's up, Soul Nation? Ginger Prime here, and once again, Borderlands 3, totally proving that boycotts don't work within the gaming industry as long as the game is a good game. Now, 2K has revealed that it's actually the fastest selling game in history for the company, selling 50% more than Borderlands 2 during the same launch window, which Borderlands 2 went on to sell over 22 million units. The high figures of this was achieved, obviously, in spite of backlash from fans when it was announced for PC for the Epic Games Store. And that's what started to kind of kick off this controversy. Obviously, if you haven't followed along, then they have the Submato situation, which 2K was investigating one of the people in their community for essentially leaking or hacking or breaking. Long story short, and caused a lot of people to sit here and try to reevaluate whether they wanted to pick up Borderlands 3 or not. A lot of people are on wait until it comes out for Steam. And obviously Borderlands 3 launched with some PC issues, but ultimately, because of the nature of video games today, how it launches on the first couple of days or first couple of weeks really doesn't matter. Now, what's really fascinating is that 70% of people picked up Borderlands 3 digitally. Obviously, as we move more to the digital future, it is upon us and the transition is happening. So this is to say that really the question here is, what are gamers to do when there is something to be upset about? Because obviously hype and excitement is all going to build in. It's all going to kind of lean into that sense that you have to be a part of something. But if you're trying to actively, I guess, send a message and things like that, how and what can gamers do? And ultimately, that's where we're going to have to figure it out. It's not like this video is going to sit here and answer that question. Obviously, boycotting, on an individual level couldn't have some kind of impact. But when you're talking about 5 million in the first 5 days, this game should continue to go on. They've got DLC plans. They've got plans for at least the next year or more worth of content. When talking with various people like SkillUp, people did play Borderlands 2 for well over 7 years. I find that very impressive. But when you look at Borderlands 2's figures of 22 million, it's going to be interesting to see where this falls in. But the fact is, it's out of the gate strong. And that's with it being an exclusive on Epic. Imagine if it wasn't. 2K, obviously, in a press release announcing that Borderlands 3 delivered the highest pre-order sales figures to date for 2K as well, and it broke pre-order records within the Epic Games Store. Not a shocker, but a lot of people really wanted to play this game on PC. Essentially, Epic's Game Store being the exclusive was the idea. It's what Epic paid for. It's what Epic paid 2K for, is to get more people into the store. Plenty of people like their engine. A lot of people are still on the fence or frustrated with this deal. Then some other interesting stats here. We've got that the game on Twitch was generated over 14 million hours of content on the streaming platform, which is more than half the viewership that Borderlands 2 generated over 7 years. Massive interest, and that's obviously telling as to what has changed in the creator economy and with video games since Borderlands 2 release. There really wasn't the sense of this online streaming concept. That just started to kind of trickle out, and Borderlands 2 did take advantage of it, but obviously more content for Borderlands 3 is the way to go. So while I am still waiting to be able to jump into Borderlands 3, going to be looking at hopefully maybe doing it this holiday season or sometime next year, due to just the vast amount of things that are going on in my life, I think this ultimately proves, though, that anybody saying that they're boycotting, that's fine. I respect an individual person's right to do that. But as a game perspective as a whole, I think it only then creates more people who want to dive in. I think that concept, and this is kind of a bigger topic, probably beyond the scope of this video, but like cancel culture and things of that nature only draw more attention to what you're trying to, I guess, get people to be frustrated about. And where this gets really fascinating is when you talk about gamers and game culture as in totality. Gamers are passionate, excited, they're wanting to dive in, they're wanting to have an amazing time with these games, and hype is such a huge drug. You can see it from people hop from game to game to game to game, and so on and so forth. Ultimately, it really kind of says, like, if you're boycotting and the game is good, it's just going to drive more people to the game, because people are going to be like, why are people upset? Now, that's not to discount people who are upset legitimately about, Randy Pitchford, the various other things within 2K, and all of that. They have the right, and I can totally understand why they might be upset here, but that's just going to be where I have to leave it. We're ultimately going to have to see where this goes. 22 million is a high mark to hit. But what people keep saying is that Borderlands 3 really kind of delivered on what they expected. Some negative reviews out there, but it's, one game is not going to, I guess, be the be-all, end-all for the entire 2 billion gamers out there. That's where we'll leave it. Anyway, for Ginger Prime, thanks for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We can have that discussion about Borderlands 3, about game boycotts, about cancel culture, anything and anything that's on your mind. Sound off below, and I hope you guys all have an amazing week. It's going to be a fun one. Anyway, for Ginger Prime, my name is Brian. Take care.